Greetings and welcome to another video. Now, here is the video that I kind of promised you guys in the comment sections. If you guys were in there, you'll know that I said, or I asked you guys, would you be interested in seeing my game plan for the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond? And everyone was really interested. And here's why I wanted to make this video. If you have been following me, you'll know that I'm not a 4-1-2-1-2 player. I'm a 4-3-3 player. Last year I made the 4-3-3, the ultimate guide to the 4-3-3, which of course, I don't know if I'll make an ultimate guide again this year because the 4-3-3 this year is really just underwhelming for reasons that we might get into another video, but I will definitely be showing you guys my current 4-3-3 setup. If you guys are interested, let me know that in the comments because I have found a way to use 4-3-3. It's a bit risky, but it works and I like it. But maybe it's not the best for competitive, but not everyone here cares about competitive. Some of you guys want to just enjoy it. And so before we get into the 4-1-2-1-2, today I'm going to show you my tactics, my instructions, and then while I show you guys gameplay of me playing the 4-1-2-1-2 in the weekend league, last weekend league, I'm going to explain my choices and whatnot. So first, we'll just get out the actual instructions out of the way, and then we'll show you guys the gameplay. Now, of course, a lot of you might be seeing this and seeing, yo, but your team is so much better than mine. Of course, this game plan works. Well, first of all, game plans will never sort of save you. They can complement your playstyle a little bit, but it comes down to your ability as a player. Second of all, yeah, I'm aware that like not a lot of people will have this good of a team, but sue me, you know, I worked really hard. Not literally, I've played way too much FIFA. I probably deserve a way better team than this, but you know, it is what it is. You grind more, you get a better team. You don't grind as much, you don't get a better team. So obviously the team helps, especially this year. This game is pay to win as hell, but it is what it is. I mean, I grinded for it and I deserve this team. That's just a disclaimer because there's always comments that come and roll in. It's like, oh, but of course your 4-1-2-2 works. It's just because of team. But without further ado, let's look at the game plan and why I make the certain decisions that I do for the 4-1-2-1-2. Now, here are the actual tactics, and again, it's really interesting to me about the diamond because I've never really liked it. I've never really played it. The closest I have was in FIFA 17, where my go-to formation, or one of two formations I used, was the 4-3-2-1. That's as close as I ever got, but I've never been a diamond player, so the fact that it works for me this year is kind of weird, but it does. You can play it slowly, you can play it as a possession sort of game and forget about the fact that it's a diamond, because sometimes you might get stuck in the idea, oh, I'm playing the diamond, I have to bomb forward. You don't. You can play it meticulously, you can play it fast. It's pretty good for variety this year, just in a balanced sense. And obviously these custom tactics that we have, obviously topic that we have already covered last year, they're not the best, but you know, you got to work with what you get. And why do I have pressure on heavy touch? Well, essentially there's something about pressure on heavy touch with this formation that works because you're so narrow, you won't always be able to press on the wing as well as you might be able to with a 4-4-2. And the key with this formation is to press when you can, not always press. And when you have pressure on heavy touch, obviously I don't condone for it, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's in the game, so what can you do? And when you have pressure on heavy touch, what the CPU will do for you is it will push, and when you see them push, that's when you have to commit, and it helps take a lot of extra possessions away from the opponent because of how well the CPU uses pressure on heavy touch. But this has only really worked for me when I used the diamond. If I'm playing a 4-2-3-1, I don't want to press with a heavy touch. That's probably because you have 3 midfielders as opposed to like 2 only in the 4-2-3-1. You know, the 4-2-3-1, you have the 2 CDMs, the 3 cams. If you have the pressure on heavy touch, you risk both of your cams to just run forward. In the 4-1-2-1-2, maybe 1 or 2 comes, go forward. Maybe the right CM and the CDM push forward because of this tactic, but the left center mid will stay put. So you're always pretty well covered in the middle. For width, we don't touch it, and depth, we don't touch it, although I have experimented between 3 and 5. 3 works well, but I ended up going 5 because of an instruction of this formation that I'm going to show you in a second. Offensive style, Why do we go balanced? Because essentially, if you go, where is it? If you go possession in this formation, it's not good because it's way too slow. If you want to go possession, you need to be playing a wider formation, in my opinion. That's because your team is going to be building up so slow, and in the diamond, sometimes you're going to feel like you're really struggling to find options, and that's because of how narrow it is. But you know, unbalanced, you don't have problems with this. If you went possession, it might be a bit of a problem. At least it was for me. You might be able to try it yourself. I go for balance because it sort of you know, works with the fact that because the diamond is so narrow and you struggle to build up sometimes and you feel like there's no space, especially against people who park the bus, with balance, your players move quick enough to where you can eventually wiggle and weave with a fullback and find the pass into the midfielder and move along the field. With possession, you might be stuck. Long ball, I don't really want to be pushing my players too far deep. Most of the players are defending deep, so I need players, you know, on the edge and around the box, not inside the box. And fast build up, I feel like it's just it could work with this formation. This is what this formation has been played at mostly by top players playing fast, but I am not a 4-1-2-1-2 player. So this is my 4-1-2-1-2 guide from the perspective of someone who has always played a 4-4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, stuff like that. So for me, balance is the best. With against, we don't trust it, so we don't touch it. And then players in the box, we have 4 because, like I said, we don't want players to go too deep into the box, and that's mostly based around the fact of a certain meta that revolves around the game right now. You know, everyone's dropping deep. There's no space to get in behind, so why am I telling my players to go deep into the box? Especially because this is a tactic that, like the game describes, is heavily revolved around, you know, crossing. The only one who's really going to be on the wing consistently is my fullbacks, and not only do they stay back, but yeah, I'm not really going to be crossing the ball. Maybe I'll go for a sweaty cutback, but by then there's already enough strikers. You don't need more than the strikers in the box. Now, for the instructions. Okay, nothing crazy, but I have stay back while attacking on both fullbacks, and I have overlap. You might be thinking, why do you have overlap if they're on stay back while attacking? Well, if I do trigger their runs and I tell them to go forward, at least I know they'll be going on overlap. Something I do in every formation is that I always put overlap because I don't want them to be doing inverted runs. If they ever happen to go up top, I need them to overlap more than ever in this formation because it's so narrow. I've got enough people in the middle. Don't need more coming in. You stay on the side and you stay chilling. Now, this is the most important position in this formation, and he's got cover center, of course, but most importantly, he's got drop between defenders. Now, when I attack, I want nothing to do with this guy. Okay, he needs to drop between the defenders, and that's that. I will gladly feed a run that my left center mid, my right center mid, my cam, or my strikers make. I'm okay with those guys over committing. This guy on drop between defenders works perfectly in the diamond because as soon as I lose the ball, as bad as the situation might be, as many players as I might have in the opposition's box, he's always gonna be there ready, and he's the first person I switch to him, and I push him out of the 2 center backs, kind of like surprise, you know. My opponent's like, oh crap, I thought I was just running at your defense. No. There's a surprise in there for you, buddy, and it's my Allen. He's waiting for you. Now, right center mid and left center mid are on default. I even have cover wing on them. I don't have cover center because they're going to be going all over the place. Depending on the situation, I might push them a little bit out wide. That's something you have to figure out on yourself. This is not a defensive tutorial. It's just the tactics I use in my diamond. And you might be wondering, why is Politano your second center mid? Well, other than Angolan and Allen, who are true midfielders, my other 4 players are all offensive, and out of the 4, obviously I'm not going to put anyone but Politano at right center mid. It's kind of a makeshift situation. It's nothing new. We saw it with Griezmann and or Suarez or Bale in FIFA 17, who would play center mids in these narrow formations. Now for me it's Politano, but what there is to note is that I put my left-footed player, that is Politano, on the right. And I put my right-footed player in Angolan on the left because I feel like it plays out better with how finishing works in this game. So when I'm dribbling and they might be on the edge of the box, I can slant their body in a way that opens up pretty well and allows me to choose. Do I want to be finishing this far post or near post? You know, I feel like if Politano was on the left, maybe I would have to do more work to open up. Whereas on this case, it feels more often than not, wherever I open up, I get to choose whichever side without having to worry about taking additional touches and adjusting. So all I have to worry about at that point is what's the best angle, what's the best, or sorry, not what the best angle is, but what the best side is, and is my opponent moving his keeper, blah, blah, blah. Messi is the cam, and this is actually an important one as well. A lot of people, they'll put stay forward, right? Why do I not do this? Well, because, and this is something also Dylan Mike does, I'm pretty sure. He was talking about in an event, they asked him why he plays a diamond. He's like, well, for me, it allows me to attack narrow with a diamond, and then defensively, it defends like a 4-4-2. Same for me, and the reason this is because if you don't put stay forward on your cam actually drops back at left mid, so you actually kind of do defend like a 4-4-2. It's not really a 4-4-2. It's kind of like a 4-3 dudes in the middle and one guy lingering on the side. But what that allows you to do is that allows you to pull out your right center mid and push him out wide, because you know that Messi's on the other flank, and then you know that Allen and Angolan can be in the middle. So I guess you kind of do defend in a 4-4-2, but I guess what it does do is it gives you more leniency to push out with one of your CMs to the opposite side. And so I don't put stay forward because it helps me defensively. It might hurt me a little bit offensively, because when you start an attack, a lot of the times Messi will be on the left-hand side of the pitch, which is kind of weird, but I don't have any problems with it. At the end of the day, everyone plays drop back, so it's not like you'll have that many chances to do that anyways. Most of my attacks, I'm setting my team up, and by the time I do that, Messi's already at cam in a central position. Strikers, nothing on them either. I know it's super boring, but it is what it is. I've tried a lot of tactics or instructions, and more often than not, the funkier ones work better on wide formations. So, you know, if we ever do a 4-3-3 video, you'll see a bit more variety on the instructions. What's key here is that I personally like to put right-footed players on the left, and then, well, Neymar's a right-footed player, but he counts kind of like a left-footed because, you know, 5-star weak foot. So with Ronaldo on the left, Neymar will have to go on the right, and the reason is because it's, I don't know, I think it feels like I can put myself in better shooting situations. I like to sort of run diagonally into the box so that I can shoot either near post or far post. I know the meta is kind of like going on the outside, as we spoke about in my near post videos, but this works out the best for me. Now, let's move on to some clips in game where we can look at some goals and stuff like that. All right, now here are some clips of me playing the diamond. I like to start a lot of games with the diamond. It kind of depends on what my opponent playing and his team. And as you can see, there's a lot of intricate play between the top three. They've always got that little triangle shape. You can oftentimes recuperate the ball in the final third. Not too many clips, but, you know, just trying to get the point across, because I think we're already almost close to 50 minutes. I don't want to make this too video. I know you guys, some of you guys want to just be in and out, try the tactics, see if you like them, blah, blah, blah. What I did also mention is another good thing about leaving the strikers on balance is that they will linger to the wing a little bit more sometimes. Going into the box with this formation and playing between the two strikers or the one striker and a cam is really useful. Like here with Politano, you pass into the middle and boom, instantly a triangle, right? So that's always useful, especially with how many men you have against you. A big worry of mine when playing the diamond is, will I be able to defend? The weekend I got 12 goals conceded was the weekend I started a large majority of my games with a diamond. So I guess maybe it's not a worry if you learn how to do it and you get used to it. Plus, it's kind of like a must-have in your game plans. You don't have to play it every game, every single minute of the game, but I would definitely suggest for you guys to at least have it as a game plan. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you have questions in the comments. Let me know if you guys want to see a 4-3-3 video as well. But until next time, that's going to be it from me today. Peace out.